I'm a 17-year-old girl and I am allergic to shellfish. My reactions are not life-threatening, but I do throw up almost immediately. My great-aunt, Dad's aunt, is one of those geniuses who think food allergies are not real and people who claim to have are just trying to get attention. I usually avoid her because she's a moron. But this weekend, my little brother and I had go to her place along with our parents. My dad dropped us off and then went off to pick up my mom from work. Many of our cousins, aunts, uncles were there too. Great-aunt, had an entire table full of food laid out. Among them were fried mussels. My brother, cousins and I snacked on some other goodies as we chatted. I avoided the mussels, of course. Approached me and asked me to try the mussels. I said no. She asked again. I said no, I'm allergic. Got mad. She told me I was a spoiled little brat. And that my parents needed to smack me to set me straight. My brother is 14 but even he understands how allergies work. He tried to intervene and tell the crazy bitch why I couldn't eat them. She yelled at him too for being disrespectful. I decided to give her what she was asking for. I smiled sweetly and said okay, I'll try some. Before having a few mouthfuls of the mussels I stuffed my face with some other foods. A few minutes after the mussels went down my gullet I began feeling funny. But I didn't say anything. I waited for the puke party to begin. And soon it did. I began to vomit, but instead of running to the bathroom I threw up right there on the dining table and on all the food Ga had made. I also turned around and threw up on her nice expensive carpet. We know it's expensive because she keeps talking about how expensive her furniture is. Ga screamed the whole time. My brother yelled at her, calling her an idiot for making me eat the mussels. As the puke scream fest was going on my parents arrived. My mom knew immediately what had happened and after giving me my medication, she and my dad tore Ga a new asshole. My father told them how Ga had pressured me and I confirmed it. I even did some fake crying for extra effect. My eyes were already red so it wasn't hard. We left immediately and now Ga has been banned from our home or from coming near my brother and I. My mom made it clear to her that if she did hell would be raised. I actually got something out of this horrible allergy. Lol. Edit. Thank you so much for all your comments. Someone asked what Ga's reaction to me throwing up and my parents chewing her out was. She looked like she didn't know what you say. Now she trying to play the victim by claiming that my parents are overreacting. That dumb bitch. My boyfriend postpones everything, and I told him in October to get a bookkeeper sorted. He kept saying he would do it. Then comes November and his mother calls if we found a solution. Nope. We asked everywhere. Nobody could take her. He doesn't want strangers taking care of her, even people with birds. Which I understand, but what can you expect when you wait so long to get a sitter? My boyfriend isn't fond of Christmas and doesn't care if he celebrates or not. But I am devastated. We don't have money for a tree, food or decorations and I am depressed by the thought of staying in our apartment. I have considered going home to my family alone but it's heartless to leave him with the bird and nobody to spend Christmas with. Suffice to say, I am broken. I slowly start to despise my boyfriend more because he does this. I am the one mostly taking care of the bird anyway, but she doesn't even like me. When I was a bartender, I would often have to cut customers off if they got too drunk. Of course, they would become belligerent. Then I discovered that very drunk people can't taste the difference between a rum and Coke and a Coke. So I would just give them free drinks once they got over the line. By the time they left, they loved me because I gave them free drinks and weirdly they were more sober. I'm not going to lie, some people paid full price for their drinks. I have no regrets. No one tell him please. Edit. Here's Imgur.com web link, my boy Jester for those interested smile. Here's the link www.reddit.com web link to the original post. Hello everyone, I wanted to post an update after all the kind support I received from people commenting on the post to those who messaged me. I felt like each and every one of you deserved an update as to how the next chapter of my life is. Even though I was overwhelmed with the comments hence not able to reply, I read all of them and they gave me so much motivation. The personal experiences also made me feel that I am not alone. Overall, I felt ready to take on the world. Aside from those first initial days that I was kicked out, I did not spend another cold night out. I was able to stay in a motel as deposit plus rent and rental fees weren't cheap, and moving to a cheaper area was not an option. It made sense then. A lot of people suggested that I should tell my boss, and I mustered up the courage to tell him. He was very sympathetic and started putting me on more shifts so I can make more money. He did not tell anyone else and even said the company could help pay for me to go to college. So yep, next year I'm enrolling. The extra hours worked out well, and I am happy to announce that I have just moved into my very first rental just in time for Christmas. It's not much, but it's mine to call home. Next time you feel alone, remember that you are not, and that there are a lot of caring souls all around you. Thank you. We're practically on the rocks emotionally and sexually. I'm depressed, she's depressed and acting out. We barely hug, we never kiss, and forget sex. I'm starved for affection and she is completely emotionally shut down. Honestly, we're probably on the verge of divorce. She wanted to start one for money and exhibitionism, and in my insecurity, I told her I'd love to help because I can't stand the thought of other guys messaging her all the time. I'd rather be involved and know exactly what's going on than be uninvolved and let my imagination run wild. I do all the legwork. I set up the photo shoots, the lighting, I process all the images and videos. I hold the camera, set up props, everything. I run the of page and all the social media. I post all the content, come up with marketing, and message all the subs. I even handle the sexting. That's right fellas, you might not be actually sexting the person you're spanking it to. 50% of guys just want to get their rocks off. The other 50% are lonely and just want a pretty girl to talk to. Either way, we get money. Either way, they're talking to me. I get no joy from it other than the thrill of watching my wife be the sexiest person I've ever known. Watching her strip and writhe and come, but not for me. For money, from strangers. And she apparently honestly doesn't care at all, about herself, or about me. All this for a couple of $100 a week. I've never felt lonelier or more depressed, and I don't see an end in sight until we either divorce, reconcile, or I unalive myself.